Hey there, welcome back. I'm Courtney, also known as Self-Care Creature, and I am here to help you raise your self-worth, deepen your intuition so that you can live a truly fulfilling life, honoring who you really are in this world. And in this series, we're going to be talking about what are the hardest things about showing up and supporting yourself. I asked this on Instagram recently. I got an overflow of response. I know that we are all struggling with this. It's fucking hard to show up for ourselves. So let's dive into all these different responses so that you can know that you are not alone in this shit. One of the first responses that I got says that staying consistent and remembering to show up for myself is the hardest part for me. I go back and forth from reaching balance to complete chaos. Holy heck, I feel this. Those are the extremes that I've constantly been living my entire life in, from just all in to all out. And it creates this crazy extreme. And as I talked to one of my spiritual teachers, Jenny Dawn, in the last few months, she helped me to realize this oscillation needs to come to just more of a balance. Balance isn't stillness. Balance isn't this place that we reach. It's still constantly moving, but instead of oscillating between these giant extremes, we're just gently bringing it down to a little bit. But that takes time, and it takes consistency and showing up for yourself. And yeah, when you are just committing to be on this lifestyle, to take on the self-care lifestyle, and for showing up for yourself and wanting to cultivate this awareness and to know yourself, to be a more strong and capable individual in the world, it's going to be hard because it's not what you have been doing, right? Like, how long has it been? All of a sudden you're like, okay, I'm here. Even if you're 20 years old, that still took you 20 years to get to this point. We don't grow up in the world. We don't grow up in our families, in environments really that are cultivating this self-awareness and this encouragement to be yourself. So just know that wherever you're at is the right place for you, and it starts small. And for me, especially in the beginning, it was constantly felt like I was getting on and off this wagon, because that's what it feels like when you're showing up just a little bit. And it's easy to berate yourself and be like, oh, I'm not showing up as often as I want to. But remember, you're not trying to fit yourself in a box. This is for the long-term ride for the rest of your life, because you're taking on an entire new lifestyle, and it's going to take some time to adopt this shit and be able to transform into it. So just remember, please, every little bit counts. I always say, even showing up for just 5 minutes a day, doing something, if that's something for yourself, and maybe that's it. Just show up for yourself 5 minutes a day. Decide what it is in the day. It doesn't necessarily have to be, I'm going to show up and meditate every 5 minutes every day. I'm going to show up and move 5 minutes every day. I'm going to look at myself in the mirror for 5 minutes every day. Yes, you can set specific goals and intentions and things like that, but you can also just have the structure. 5 minutes to yourself every day. What does that look like for you? It could look like going into the bathroom and shutting the door and pretending that you need to take an extra 5 longer minutes. No one's going to know what you're doing in there. Maybe you're breathing, hands on body breathing. Maybe you're journaling. Maybe, I just like to use the bathroom as an example, because a lot of clients that I've worked with are like, I don't have any time to myself. There's no way that I can cultivate this time to myself. And, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you are right. So start believing in yourself, start shifting it around, and start knowing that every single time you make a choice to show up, that you're doing it. And it's beyond every single time you make a choice. Know that you have this intention, that you want to live this way, that you are embodying it, you're doing your best. And because of that, it's making a difference. It's hard to see the big picture and the shifts that are happening when we are in it. And it's challenging. It's a challenging transition and a different way of looking at life. And getting to know yourself is not a easy path. It's simple and straightforward looking, but now that you're on it, that it is challenging AF. So I hope that this helps you to know that staying consistent and remembering to show up for yourself is very challenging, but it's every little bit counts. Every little bit counts. And that's it. You just have to know that and support yourself and keep going.